Hey, what up guys, it's Badguy here, back with another video. And in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 tips on making your Speed Dragons B10 team. Stay tuned. Hey guys, now before we begin the video, I just want to put in a disclaimer here to tell you guys that these tips that I'm about to give you are from experiences I faced when I was trying to make a successful Speed DB10 team, and it took me quite a while. And by making these tips, I'm hoping that they'll be able to help you guys overcome some of the problems that I faced and maybe get that working Speed DB10 team faster than I was able to. So yeah, let's get started with the first tip right now. Hey guys, now for my first tip for you guys in making your Speed DB10 team is that R5 is the benchmark. And what I mean by that is that you should try to avoid trying to make this type of speed team if you're unable to consistently do R5. And the reason why I say that is because the importance of grinds and grindstones when it comes to this team, because you need quite high rune quality to make it successful. It's a face team, you're supposed to be doing a lot of damage before the boss is able to get immunity on. So if you don't have the grinds and have those upgraded good runes which have been grinded, then you should just hold off, get your R5 team going, get those grinds, and then you'll eventually be able to do it just fine. Now I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. When I was making my team, it wasn't quite successful until I finally got a grind for Theomars on this slot 4. It never used to have attack here. I managed to get a good attack endure grind. It grinded to +11, and then I mean a gem. It gemmed to +11, and then I grinded that gem to +17, which increased Theo's damage output by 17%. And which ended up making the run a lot more safer. There were a lot less fails just because Theo was doing a lot more damage, because the aim of this team is damage. Alright, I hope you guys got that. We'll move on to the next tip right now. Hey guys, now my second tip for you guys when it comes to building your DB10 team is that you should pace yourself. And what I mean by this is that you should slowly start working up into building that Speed DB10, not just instantly going straight into it. So you should start building up the units that you should start by having in mind the team that you want to use, like the end game team that you want to be farming DB10 in a speed team in your mind, and then you still slowly start building up those units, slowly start improving their runes, grinding their runes, and making them 6-star, and basically getting ready for that Speed DB10 team. You also start working on towers. Now for towers, I'm gonna show you guys the towers that I had when I started making my Speed DB10 team, and it was quite successful. It failed, but it was pretty successful. Now over here, I had my crit damage tower maxed. I recommend it has to be maxed. It's easy, it's cheap to max this tower, so you can easily do it. Slowly work up and do it. And then the next one is this speed totem that was also maxed. It should be maxed. You guys should, before you start trying to do DB10, you should have that maxed, at least in my opinion. My ancient sword was at level 7, so pay attention to that. Since it's only water attackers, my water sanctuary tower was level 7 as well. So my guardstone was also, but this is not really important. What's important is the damage dealing towers, right? So I recommend that before you start going into DB10, make sure you have this tower max. I mean, not max, but level 7, and slowly keep working on getting it maxed, because you know, if you're using all water damage dealers, your Tarks, your Galleons, they'll benefit a lot from that. If you're using fire, then you must also have fire at least up to level 7. And ancient sword, same as me, just try and hit, because this is from my experience, right? And this is what gave me success. So I hope you guys will be able to max these towers. Pace yourself, work on getting these towers ready in preparation for your Speed DB10 team, as well as the runes and the grinds. Hey guys, now we're on to tip number 3. Now tip number 3 is that you should speed tune your units. When you're building your Speed DB10 team, you should have your team tuned in such a way that the certain monsters move first and then other monsters follow up, right? So the order for the team is usually Galleon has to move first, then the Tarks, it doesn't matter which, the order doesn't actually matter, right? And then Galleon should move last. Now in my team, let's go ahead and watch the order. First Galleon moves, that's important, that has to be the way it is, I believe, with Galleon. Then the next one is Tark, and then the other Tark, which is good. Then here's where there's a bit of an issue with my team. I don't have my Theo runed up fast enough to move. Let's put this at times 3 to move before my bird, but I'm okay with that because it doesn't really matter. The most important ones are Galleon and the Tarks, right? So it will work fine like this, but eventually I'm gonna make my Theo fast enough. I mean, that's why I'm here, right? I'm trying to get faster violent runes to put on my Theo and on other units that require violent runes, right? But this works. The only person that I can say in this team that doesn't need to be speed tuned is your last damage dealer, because I didn't want to nerf my Theo's damage for a little bit more speed. So it's fine, it works fine like this with Theo not completely speed tuned, because he does enough damage. Now that's the only person who's allowed to be out of sync. He still does more than enough, and Theo in this team is good because even if the other team wipes and the boss is really low enough, you can just solo it at the end, but that doesn't happen too often. But yeah, so when it comes to speed tuning, make sure those 3 units move first, and then Theo, and then the last damage dealer can not be speed tuned. It's up to you as long as they're doing enough damage and contributing enough to the team. Hey guys, now the 4th tip that I have for you is that you should be ready for failure. And what I mean by failure is that the essence of Dragon's B10 speed team is that you're trading safety for speed. So you're taking out the Bella, the Veramos, all those other safe units that you're using before, and now you're adding more damage dealers so you'll be able to do the run faster. Now what this is going to do is that it's going to make the run faster, but it's going to make it so like you fail sometimes, especially when you start out, when you're first making the team. You're going to fail quite a bit, especially because you're experimenting and you're trying to find out what works and if the runes you have are okay, and you're working on your towers as well. So just keep working at it. It's going to as you keep working and improving your monsters' runes and grinding them and improving your towers, you'll start seeing that your runs will become more and more successful, going from maybe 91, 92% to 95, 97, and even maybe you will never fail depending on the units you have, right? So just don't be bummed out when your team actually does fail. Just keep at it, keep working on your monsters, learn from your failures, learn why your team is failing, and improve from there onwards. Hey guys, now my final tip for you guys on Dragon's B10 speed team is going to be on rune quality. Now to make your Dragon's B10 team more successful and consistent, you're going to need really good rune quality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the rune quality on the runes on my monsters that I use in Dragon's B10. And if you guys have any questions or anything about the runes, on whether your stats are fine, you can definitely comment in the section below, in the comment section below, and I will respond to every comment or every question that you guys have, just so I can help you guys out in maybe who are struggling in making your teams, right? So we'll go over the team over the monsters, and I'll talk about the rune sets and why I ruined them the way I did, right? This is my Galleon. These are his stats. Yes, these are his runes as well. Violent Will, I run in Violent Will because I also use him in PvP, and that will set really helps out, especially when you're trying to make a shield will cleave kind of thing, right? But you don't really need the will set for dragons or PvE, so you can get away with anything else like shield, revenge, or focus, whatever you need, energy, or whatever you have, right? That has really good stats. He moves first in my team, so he's the fastest. The next person is my Theomars. Theomars is one of my best balance sets. He's one of my best attackers, and these are his stats and these are his runes. The reason I use him is also because he has really good runes, right? You want the monsters that you use in DB10 to have some of your best runes. And there you go, Theomars. Next is my first Dark. This has really good runes as well, 1.3k bonus attack as well as 93 speed. That makes him 200 something speed in total, 208 I think. Every rune maxed except 3 and 5. Now I recommend the same for your Tark. You don't need to max 3 and 5, but 1 is a must just to get those extra stats to help you deal a bit more damage. Same with my second Tark. He has the same speed as my other Tark, almost the same attack. They do similar damage, same crit rate basically. These are his runes. This one is on Swift. I had really good Swift runes, so I gave them to him. Same with the other Tark. I don't want to buff their speed because they'll end up outspeeding my Galleon, and that will mess up the turn order, right? As in, I could grind some speed there, I could grind some speed here, but I'm just gonna leave it be like that, so I don't mess up the turn order. And finally, we have we have Vertihal over here. These are his stats. You can run Vertihal two ways, tanky or as a damage dealer. And I opted for tanky so he doesn't die in the Zyro stage, because if he dies in the Zyro stage, it's basically a failed run, right? So I preferred this sort of build for him. High speed is like 190 speed, 191 speed, yeah. So it works quite well for me. You have to actually, it works well for me because he doesn't die ever usually. He may die in the last boss stage, like if the boss is below that threshold. I think it's a third of its health. It hits a lot more, but even if it dies, usually Theomars will be able to carry out and finish, right? So shoot for these kinds of stats. Let me show you his runes. And yeah, there we go. So guys, that has been my runes. I hope you guys gained a lot from this. The reason I decided to make this video is because I remember when I was trying to make my speed DB10 team more consistent and more successful, I looked up a lot of videos and they didn't really help out, because they just show you a team and they don't really explain anything. Like, because I'd look at a Tark and I look at my Tark, their Tarks or their units in general and my units, and I have better runes and stats on them, but I'm still failing. So I don't really understand why I'm failing. So I wanted to make this video just to help you guys out there who are having trouble in making your speed DB10 team, and hopefully make it easier for you through my experience that I went through in making my team more successful and more consistent, right? So yeah guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helps you, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.